Hi, my name is May Congdon, and I was a courier in the summer of 2016. I was attending Williams College in Massachusetts, a small liberal arts college, and I went to my pre-health advisor to learn about opportunities to get involved in the health field for that summer. I learned about the Courier Program the day before the application deadline, and thank God that they still accepted my application. They gave me a little bit of extra time to get it done, and I ended up traveling to rural southeastern Kentucky that summer. I met some of the most amazing people who I call my dearest friends, and I hope to stay connected with them for the rest of my life. I graduated from Williams with a degree in women's gender and sexuality studies. I also studied public health, chemistry, biology, and I'm considering future study in nursing. What I'm doing now, because it's been 1 year after I graduated college, is I just recently started working at a reproductive health clinic near my area. And I feel like the Courier program has inspired me to be a dedicated public servant and to approach each patient interaction free of judgment or stereotype, to meet each patient where they're at, and to learn every day to be a better person and to bring myself fully to the table. So I'm very grateful for the Courier program. So my Courier experience was really impactful for me, mostly in retrospect because it was a joy. It was a joy to be here. I think there's a lot said in internship experience, and there's a lot of pressure on pre-health and pre-med students, I think specifically, to get that experience, to get into graduate school, to advance your career. And I think this program was really helpful for me in that sense. But in another sense, it was also so rewarding because it was a joy to be here. I met young people who had very different backgrounds from me, the fellow couriers, but we were like-minded in the sense that we all cared about healthcare and serving vulnerable populations and improving ourselves every day. And living with those folks for the 8 weeks that we were here was incredibly inspiring. While I was serving in rural Kentucky, I spent 3 days a week at a faith-based health center and 2 days a week at a hospice. Before I started my summer experience, I was unclear on what hospice meant. I was a little bit daunted by engaging with terminal illness. I didn't know much about the medical care that was associated with end of life. And that was a source of nerves for me coming into this program. I thought that the other part of my 3 days a week at the clinic would be the area where I learned the most. But it ended up being that my experience with hospice was one of my most rewarding parts of my time here. I was able to get to know a few patients in a volunteer capacity, spending time in their home, and they welcomed me into their life in a really sensitive and difficult time in their lives. So I'm very grateful for that experience, and I think that has informed my life as well and my future as a healthcare provider. And I currently continue to volunteer in hospice in my local area. Another one of the lessons that I learned while I was here, kind of in the same line of breaking down stereotypes and learning to engage with people as authentic and honest in community, was the religious aspect. Growing up as Christian, I felt like I had a lot in common with the communities that I met while I was here, which is also predominantly Christian. But we had different beliefs and some different traditions when it came down to the specifics of it. And that was really powerful for me, to be able to learn about the diversity of beliefs even among a specific religion. One One area that I was able to learn about that through was the faith-based clinic where I worked 3 days a week, which is called Grace Community Health Center, now known as Grace Health. They were so welcoming to me, and they provided volunteer projects for me to work on and just let me hang around and shadow and get to know their patients and get to know the staff. And they shared with me a lot about their religious beliefs and about how their spiritual passion informs the service that they provide to their patients. So that was really inspiring. Another area where I engaged with religious issues was in the hospice context, where through my volunteer work 2 days a week at Hospice of the Bluegrass, which is now known as Bluegrass Care Navigators. I learned about how each family and each patient's experience at end of life navigating terminal illness is often very connected to their beliefs about God and their beliefs about afterlife, heaven, what happens after this. I found that prayer was a huge part of emotional wellness for these patients, and that listening to music and hearing lessons from the Bible or other sources of Christian teachings was very important to their experience in that time. One of the aspects of the Courier experience that I'm most grateful for has been staying involved even after my summer was over, after those 8 weeks. Following the internship, I decided to stay involved with the Courier program on the Courier Advisory Committee, where we have regular calls every 3 months to discuss the future of the Courier program and help it be the best it can be. I also attended Diversity Impact Conference this weekend, and even though it was 2 years after the time that I was a courier, this weekend I've been able to get to know the current couriers who will be in rural Kentucky for the next 8 weeks, and getting to know them was really special, and seeing this program continue and become stronger is very rewarding for me. One of the aspects of the Courier program that I consider to be invaluable has been the connections with fellow couriers that continues to this day. And I project that in my future career as a healthcare provider, having those kinds of professional connections will be very, very helpful for me to be able to call someone up on the phone to discuss a challenging patient that I saw that day, knowing that we both experienced the same thing this summer of learning about an area that was foreign to us, navigating difference, navigating challenging health issues that we hadn't encountered before, and reaffirming our commitment to serve populations that are underserved, specifically rural areas, and most importantly, retaining that commitment to Eastern Kentucky specifically as a region that is full of love and full of passion, but does need support and I believe compassion from our country as a whole.